A transfer war is brewing. Manchester United versus Newcastle United. The prize? Benjamin Šeško, the 6-4 Slovenian sensation with 13 Bundesliga goals and an 80 million release clause that's driving both clubs into madness. But here's the twist nobody's talking about. This battle isn't just about who gets Šeško. It's about what happens to the striker who gets left behind. Because if Newcastle steal United's top targets, they might accidentally create something far more dangerous. A motivated, furious Rasmus Højlund with everything to prove and nothing left to lose. One transfer decision could birth the Premier League's next monster. This is why the Šeško transfer battle will reshape English football forever. Newcastle United are in crisis mode. Their star striker Alexander Isak is desperate to leave for Liverpool, having refused to join the club's preseason tour and training alone at Real Sociedad instead. Liverpool have already tabled a $110 million bid that was swiftly rejected, but everyone knows the next offer is coming. The Magpies have endured a transfer window from hell. Liam Delap to Chelsea, Joao Pedro to Chelsea, Hugo Ekitike to Liverpool. Every striker target has slipped through their fingers, and their preseason tour begins with a glaring hole up front. Enter Benjamin Šeško.
For Leipzig, Sesko!
Newcastle's salvation and their $70 million statement of intent, but Manchester United have different ideas. After watching their Premier League rivals struggle, United see opportunity in chaos. Šeško represents everything they desperately need: pace, power, and the kind of clinical finishing that transforms mediocre attacks into goal avalanches. The mathematics are brutal for both clubs. Šeško's $80 million release clause isn't just expensive, it's strategic warfare. RB Leipzig have watched too many talents leave for bargain prices. Not this time. For Newcastle, landing Šeško means more than replacing Isak. It's about proving they can still attract elite talent despite the Champions League uncertainty and transfer market failures. One successful signing could transform their entire summer narrative. For United, it's about credibility. After missing out on European football and struggling for goals, Šeško represents proof they remain a destination for world-class players. But here's the twist nobody's discussing. If Newcastle succeed in this battle, they might accidentally trigger the most dangerous transformation in Premier League football. Because back at Old Trafford, Rasmus Højlund is watching every development, and sometimes the greatest motivation comes from being left behind. Newcastle aren't just throwing money at this problem, they're weaponizing desperation. Sources reveal the Magpies have constructed a package that would make any 22-year-old's head spin. $90 million on the table. Personal terms agreed until 2030. But here's the real kicker: Champions League football. While Manchester United can offer history and global reach, they're serving up Thursday night Europa League at best. Newcastle, they're dangling Wednesday night glory under the Tyneside lights, with Champions League anthems echoing around St. James's Park. The psychology is devastatingly simple. Šeško has conquered the Bundesliga, terrorized Europe's elite in the Champions League with RB Leipzig. Why step backwards into Europa League obscurity when he could continue his upward trajectory on Tyneside? Eddie Howe has personally presented Newcastle's vision to Šeško's representatives. The message was clear: become the face of our European revolution. Be the striker who fires us to Premier League glory while United struggle for relevance. Newcastle's desperation has become their strength. With Isak's departure imminent,
we've received no formal offer from any football club for him, so my wish has always been that he stays.
And their summer targets repeatedly snatched by rivals, they've channeled every ounce of frustration into this one defining moment. This isn't just another transfer, it's their entire credibility on the line. The financial package reflects this urgency. Reports suggest Newcastle have offered terms that exceed even United's capabilities, gambling their entire transfer budget on one signature that could reshape their destiny. But money talks, and Champions League football screams even louder. From Šeško's perspective, the choice seems obvious. A club desperate to make him their talisman, offering elite European competition and the chance to be the missing piece in a genuine title challenge. The only question remaining: will sentiment and personal relationships prove stronger than logic and ambition? While Newcastle wave money and Champions League promises, Manchester United deploy something far more powerful: personal loyalty. Christopher Vivell sits in RB Leipzig's director's box, watching Benjamin Šeško with the satisfaction of a master craftsman admiring his finest creation, because that's exactly what this is. Vivell didn't just discover Šeško, he built him from scratch. The story begins in 2019. A 16-year-old Slovenian teenager catches the eye of Red Bull Salzburg's head scout. 2.5 million later, Vivell has his diamond in the rough. What follows is football development perfection, loan spells, tactical education, and transformation into one of Europe's deadliest strikers. When Vivell moved to RB Leipzig, Šeško followed like a loyal apprentice. When Vivell got sacked by Chelsea after just 7 months, the football world assumed their partnership was over. They were wrong. Now installed as Manchester United's director of recruitment, Vivell has one mission: reunite with his protege. This isn't just professional, it's personal. Vivell's reputation was built on spotting talent others missed. Hojlund, Szoboszlai, Adeyemi, all Vivell discoveries. But Šeško, he's the crown jewel. The German has been conducting psychological warfare behind the scenes. Phone calls to Leipzig, conversations with Šeško's inner circle. Vivell isn't just selling Manchester United's project, he's selling trust, history, and the promise of continuing a journey they started together. Newcastle can offer Champions League football, but Vivell offers something infinitely more valuable: the guarantee of success. Because when the man who shaped your entire career tells you to make a move, you listen. The battle for Šeško isn't about money anymore. It's about loyalty versus opportunity, and Vivell is betting that blood runs thicker than Champions League water. Back at Carrington, Rasmus Højlund faces the defining moment of his career, not on the pitch, but in the transfer pages dominating every sports headline. The Danish striker understands the brutal mathematics. If Šeško chooses United, Højlund becomes expendable overnight. £72 million investment or not, football clubs don't pay $80 million for bench warmers. AC Milan lurk, Juventus monitor the situation. Even RB Leipzig themselves have explored loan conditions. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. If Newcastle succeed in their pursuit, Højlund suddenly becomes United's undisputed number 9. No competition, no replacement threats, just pure, concentrated pressure to prove he belongs at Old Trafford. Football psychology reveals a fascinating truth: players often perform best when cornered. Remove the safety net, eliminate the excuses, and watch talent either crumble or explode into greatness. Højlund's response to the speculation has been telling. No transfer demands, no agent meetings, just 2 words that echo through United's training ground: I'll fight. The scenarios couldn't be more different. Scenario 1, Šeško arrives, Højlund likely departs. 2 young strikers battle for supremacy. Scenario 2, Newcastle wins the war, Højlund inherits the kingdom with everything to prove. History suggests the second option might terrify Premier League defenses more than the first. Consider the psychological shift. Instead of sharing responsibility with an $80 million superstar, Højlund would shoulder United's entire attacking burden. The pressure would be immense, suffocating even, but pressure creates diamonds. The Danish international has already shown glimpses of brilliance. Youngest player to score in 6 consecutive Premier League games, crucial goals in Europe. Now imagine that talent unleashed without safety nets or competition. Sometimes the greatest catalyst for greatness isn't new signings. Sometimes it's simply refusing to be replaced. Whether Šeško chooses the Champions League lights of St. James's Park or follows his mentor to Old Trafford, one thing is certain: this battle will create a monster. Either a devastating strike partnership that redefines attacking football, or a furious Danish striker with everything to prove and nothing left to lose. Hit that like button if you think Højlund's transformation could be more dangerous than Šeško's arrival, and smash subscribe for all the latest on this transfer saga that's reshaping English football forever.